Hi guys, very good afternoon to all of you. Today we're going to talk about one of the very unique colleges for MBA in India called MICA. Right, so we're going to talk about this very wonderful college. What does it offer? Why is it so special? How is it different from the other colleges? So let's go ahead and understand this particular college called MICA. Right? So MICA is in a place called Ahmedabad in Gujarat. It's called MICA Ahmedabad. The full form is Mudra Institute of Communications Ahmedabad. So MICA basically stands for Mudra Institute of Communications. It's an institute from the Mudra Group. It was established way back in 1991, so that's it's an old institute, you can call it that way. 1991, the same year I think was when IIM Indore was also established. Indore was in 95 or 96, something around that way. Anyway, so that's when it was introduced, and it has over the last 3 decades, it has proven itself consistently in this area called communications and marketing. Okay, so this is one institute which anybody who dreams about marketing as a career or advertisement and communication as a career would never miss. So if you are a student who's really interested in marketing and a career in marketing, sales, marketing, advertisement, communication, well my friends, MICA is as good as it gets. It's at par with any of the IIMs when it comes to this particular area. Okay, so what do they train students for? What do they create? They teach students something called as strategic marketing and communication. So that's the uniqueness of this particular college. It is very well known across the industry. Everybody who's in the marketing world knows this institute, and it has produced some of the really good marketeers that we have seen their ads of. You may not know their names, but you would have definitely, I can assure you that you would have seen their ads in various places. Now it's digital ads. Earlier it used to be paper ads. Whatever it is, you would have seen their examples. So let's go ahead and see what makes this college so special. Firstly, about the programs offered. There are 4 programs that are offered, out of which 3 are actually a kind of an MBA related programs, whereas one is actually a certification program. So PGDM communication and PGDM. So these are the 2 basically the programs that come under your MBA. And then you have faculty FPM. So basically this is your kind of a PhD. Okay, so so this is FPM's communication is one more, and then you have a 4th course offered by the college called Crafting Creative Communication, but this is not a program equivalent to an MBA. This is a 1-year certification program, and this has its own value, but of course it is not really at par with the MBA curriculum that you're looking at and the options that you get from there. But yeah, these are the 4 programs. Usually the students who are preparing for CAT, these are the 2 programs that you are interested in, right? PGDM communications and PGDM, just PGDM, which is postgraduate diploma in management. What are the specializations they offer? They offer specializations: advertising and brand management, digital communication management, marketing analytics, media and entertainment management. So as I said, it's all and all about management, marketing and strategy of marketing. So these are the core specializations that they offer for the students. Some unique features about this particular college. So what is so special about it? What makes this college, really special? One thing they have is something called as a rural immersion program. It is a 7-day program where they take students and get them associated or get them collaborating with various NGOs or corporates that work in the rural areas. Remember guys, we are a country which still has about 60-65% of the population living in the rural areas. So you cannot say that you want to only market things to the people in the urban city. Urban areas, cities. No, it doesn't work that way. If you want to build a brand, depending upon what kind of a brand it is, you might want to do this for the bulk of the population which is living in the rural areas too. So when you go from an urban mindset to the rural mindset, the dynamics change. The way in which you communicate change. what they value versus what people in the cities value might be different. So you need to understand how to communicate a message to them. The same message might not work with the people who are in the urban area. So you need to understand their mindset. How do they think? What do they do? How do they live their lifestyle? So to understand that, they have this program called as a rural immersion program, where it is not just learning. You will actually be a part of a organization which is working in the rural areas. You will go along with them, stay there for some time, experience that life that they live over there, and also get to know insights, inputs about what is it that makes that particular set of people different from the people who are in the urban area. So therefore, should your strategy change? Therefore, how will your communication change? Right? So you need to be very, very careful when you're, reaching out to your target audience as a marketeer. So you need to make sure that one communication is not given to everyone. Guys, remember, if I want to interest children in a chocolate, the way I deal with it is different. If I want to interest adults in a chocolate, the way in which I deal with it will be different. So similarly, I can't say the same ad will be useful for everyone, or the same way in which I'm going to put forward my brand will be useful for everyone, or not useful is not the right word, probably will be effective to all my target audience. So you need to understand your audience, and that's the reason why this is happening. Okay. Any scholarship at MICA? Amatya, yes, there are scholarships. I have a slide on that, so please hold on to it. I will discuss about the scholarships, right? And then they also have something called as My Impact. It's a 6-month project, and this is compulsory for PGDM students. It is mandatory for the PGDM students. So basically what happens is you work for corporates, some government organizations, probably NGOs or non-profit organizations, or you can also have your own idea. So what are you supposed to do in this? Basically ideas which have commercial or social impact. You have to work on ideas and develop these ideas in collaboration with any of these entities that I've just spoken, or it could be your own idea too. But the bottom line is, in the 6 months project, you're supposed to showcase how this particular idea or whatever you're working on is going to have a social and or a commercial impact. How can you make money out of it, or how will it benefit the society? It can do both also. They are not, exclusive. Remember, the best way in which you can make money is by building something which can actually benefit the society. Benefiting the society automatically means it will be having a very high approval among the people, and of course you are making money out of it too, so there's nothing wrong with it. So these are the unique features. In fact, there are many others. I've just put one or two for you to understand that yes, this college, while it has been established in 1991, it's about 3 decades old. It has done a lot of things different from various other IIMs. Right? So, well, these are some of the unique features about MICA. Now, a faculty strength, if you're looking at, it has about 28 core faculty, that is the full-time faculty, and it has about 16 adjunct faculty. So adjunct means basically visiting faculty. So that's a total of about what, 38, 40, 44. So that's a solid strength of about 44, 45 faculty members training students or teaching students. This is very important for any college. Visiting faculty. Now these are the people who will actually tell students how things are changing out there. I'm not saying that the core faculty don't know that, but the first-hand information is given to a student by the visiting faculty. So when I was a student myself in my MBA days, I could distinctly find the difference between the teaching of a full-time professor versus a part-time professor. The part-time professor used to teach less theory. It was more practically oriented. You know, they used to take experiences from their lives, their colleagues' lives, because they are there doing things on the ground from the industry. So they get to, they speak the things as and when they happen, or they make notes of it and they bring it to the class and they explain what went wrong, why it went wrong. Whereas when we talk about professors, faculty members who are full-time, their outside experience is there, but it could have been 5 years ago, 10 years back, they would have stopped working outside and they are now a professor here, so full-time professor. So their interaction by the nature of their job decreases. But they will be very strong in their fundamentals, they will be very solid in their theory part. But when it comes to the practical experiences, they will be giving examples for sure, no doubt about it, but those examples will be a bit old. So you don't find, really something which has been happening on the ground, in the same timeline. So typically that's the difference between the faculty members. So any good college, any IIM you take, there will be a healthy mix of these two. Usually, obviously, the core faculty members will be higher, but you have a very, very high number of visiting faculty also teaching students in a good college, which is what is happening here, which also fits into the criteria that MICA is a damn good college to get into. Let's take a little bit about the batch information. The batch size is about 216. Last year, the students who graduated, last year meaning 2022, this year in fact, the students who graduated, they were 215 students. One student, I think, kind of opted out of placements. So, but the size is about 216. PGDM C is about 180 students and PGDM is about 36 students. This is the approved capacity. Okay, so approved capacity is PGDM communications is 180 and PGDM is 36. Now this is something which is very, very not surprising, but very, very interesting to look at. The gender ratio in the 2022 batch is the highest across the board that I've come across. It's almost 55% women and 45% men. So this is one institute where the women are more than men in the college. Usually you don't find that happening in any of the top institutes. You have high percentages. For example, if you look at Kozhikode, they make sure that about 37% of the students are female in a particular year, but still it is not close to 50. But this particular year that is passed out, that is 2022, as per their own publication, I've seen in their placement document actually, that they were about more than half of them were women and 45% of them were women. Last year also, it was the reverse, 45 were women and 55 were men. So basically you can see that women form a very high proportion of the total students batch compared to any other institutes. That's very interesting. And of course, you can see that a lot of good marketeers end up being women too. So it's a very healthy mix. You get very different perspective from the from people who are of a opposite gender of mine. Because men tend to think in particular way. Women, yes, they bring in a completely different approach. So when you have a well-balanced, college, of course the ideas will be really unique, and the students will benefit overall. Work experience, if you're looking at the overall work experience, you can see the bulk of them are actually freshers. In fact, 35% of them are having zero experience straight out of college. And if I remember the figures correctly, around 15% of them were 0 to 1 year, which means just started working but did not finish 1 year. So about 15% of them were in that 1 year, less than 1 year bracket, and 35 of them had zero work experience. So you're talking about 50% of the full entire batch is within 0 to 1 year work experience. 0 to 1 means, so let me put it less than or equal to 1, or 0 less than x less than or equal to 1. Let me put it this way. Okay, so this is your 15%. So at least 1 month they would have worked, but less than 1 year. And 0 to 1, if I include everything and put it over here, you will be talking about 50% of the batch like this. And you can see it's a young batch. In fact, this is one thing which is different from other institutes. If you look at the top MBA institutes, you will have something like 18%, 20% of the people who are fitting into this area. 3 years plus 15-20% people. But here that population is very, very less, only 8%. In fact, most of them are in that 1 year experience, 2 year experience, and of course the freshers. So it's a very, very young batch. Probably it could be the youngest batch compared to many of the other top MBA colleges. And of course, as usual, it is dominated by engineers. But again, compared to the other top MBAs, this has only 45% engineers, whereas the other top MBAs will have probably more than 60% of them as engineers. If you look at the top colleges like Ahmedabad, Bangalore, the big 6 IIMs, ABC, ILK, look at XLRI, any of these top IIMs, you will top colleges, top MBAs, you will definitely see something around 60% or 58-60% of them to be engineers. Here they've done a good job of reducing the percentage of engineers, but it's still quite high, 45%. Compared to the all others put together is about 55%. So I would still say it is disproportionate, but that's how it is in India. All engineers realize, at least many engineers realize that okay, this is not my cup of tea, so they'll go ahead and do an MBA. But yeah, well, that's the reality. But within that also, they have managed to maintain it less than the 50% of the batch. That's job well done by them. If you're looking at placements, which is the very, very important number, at the end of the day, you work so hard to get your first salary, your first paycheck. The highest last year when I say this recent pass out, 2022, was 57 lakhs per annum. The average was about 19 lakhs per annum and the median was about 17 lakhs per annum. So if you ask me where would this fit in the top institutes and as far as your salary is concerned, well, if you look at Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, they are probably about 25 lakhs easily. 26, 27 lakhs is where they're touching. If you look at Indore, Kozhikode and all, they'll be in the 22, 23 lakhs range. So yeah, if you're looking at the average, it is below 20. So I would not say it is bad. Of course, 19 lakhs, many of you would be very happy getting that. I would rate this probably not in the top 10 as a college per se, purely with respect to the placements, but definitely I'd probably put it in the top 15. There's no doubt that MICA will be in the top 15, especially if you're considering marketing and comparing marketing alone, it will be probably in the top 10. But again, when you're comparing a college, you can't say I'll compare only marketing department of other colleges and this college. So basically the way to look at it is you compare the entire college average. So yeah, I would probably put it in the 12 to 15 range bracket. Okay, and the placements typically are from FMCG as expected, IT and ITES, fast moving consumer durables, FMCD. Then you have media and advertisement, you have consulting, BFSI and analytics. These were the top placements or top sectors into which the students were placed this particular year. And of course, it had 100% placements. Nobody was left unplaced, right? What is the fee then? The fee is a bit higher compared to the average. You have a 2-year all-inclusive cost running up to about 21 lakhs. In Gujarat, spending about 21 lakhs, well, if you ask me, Gujarat, the cost of living is not that great, but then it's the value that it's the price that MICA can command. That's the position that they are in because they know that their degree that they're coming, or actually the diploma they're giving out is damn good. People die for it. So they have, they have the pricing capacity. In marketing terms, if you are able to price something higher, and people are still buying it, it means it's a very good product. Simply look at iPhone. It costs about 1.2, 1.3 lakh. I mean, I'll be getting a normal Windows system, a damn good one at that. But an iPhone will cost you about 1.3, 1.4 lakhs and people still buy it. There is a demand. There is demand outstripping the supply there. So it definitely points to a very good product. And normally when demand is higher than supply for a higher cost, for a short time, you can say that, okay, there is something wrong. Within a short time, it's correcting itself. But this is the scenario for the last so many years. So if prolonged time periods, you have higher price, higher demand, it means the product is good. It's a simple indication. You cannot cheat the market forever. You can cheat it for 2-3 years saying that, okay, I'll give you this. People might get cheated. They will come. They'll realize it's not so great. They'll stop buying. But over a period of time, people are dying for it. The price is really high. It's a simple indication, very, very basic indication, and it will not falter usually, that indicator. And yeah, it's a good college. Yeah, so somebody was asking about scholarships. So before we getting into it, there is something called as an international program which every campus has. The 5th term, there are 6 terms. In the first year, you will have 3 terms. In the second year, you will have 3 terms. So totally you'll be having 6 terms. Right? Now, the 5th term, which means the middle term of the second year, you will have something called as an exchange option. So basically what happens is students from this college in India will, swap places with some students from a foreign university. So they will come here, you will go there. So if 5 students go from here to there, 5 students from there will come over here. So you'll spend an entire term in the other college abroad. So if you want to do that, obviously the cost will be a bit more higher. You have to pay it out of your own pocket. It is not covered in this 21 lakhs, and this is not unique to MICA. It is there in almost all top colleges. It's called as an exchange program. So you get to be there in a foreign campus. You get to see how they live, how do they teach, how is it different from the Indian way of teaching, and you get to experience, of course, the foreign culture. So that's what happens. So if you are planning for that, the cost will increase quite a bit. I mean, depends upon which country, where you're going, how do you want to stay, all that will be increasing your cost. The scholarships actually are of 2 types, merit and family income based. It's a very stringent process. If it's a family income based, then you have your family income, there has to be certified that you are below a particular level as decided by the college. If it is merit based, there again there are certain points that they check, and based on that they will give you the scholarship. But the thing is, you will get a maximum of 25% only as the scholarship. You will not get full waiver. I read it clearly on their website. It is mentioned that you can get a maximum of 25% only as a fee waiver. You can't get more than that. Whereas in some other top institutes, you can actually get probably 50% also, or probably higher percent also. But in this particular college, the highest you can get is about 25%. All right. Now, what is the entrance process? Now, entrance process is a bit convoluted, so follow carefully with me. The first step is you write any of these 3 exams, either CAT or XAT, which is happening in the month of January. So, CAT is happening right now in November 27th. XAT will be happening on 8th of January, the second Sunday of January, and or GMAT. You can write any of these 3 exams and apply to the college. Then the second step is you have to write the exam conducted by the college called MICAT, M-I-C-A-T. There are 2 times in which the MICAT exam will be conducted. You can write either one or both of them, right? But you have to write this. So these are the first 2 steps. You have to write these exams. There is no choice about it. Then the step 3, what happens here? Based on your MICAT score that you get and the CAT and GMAT score. So 50% weightage to your CAT, XAT, GMAT, whichever exam you are writing, and 50% to MICAT. They will combine that and they will call the top students to their group exercise. It's GE, not GD. It's a group exercise and personal interview call. So this is the process. And of course, step 4 will be the interview process. Once you give your interviews and the group exercise, you will be having once again 20% weightage to the CAT, XAT or GMAT exam, 30% weightage to the MICAT exam, 20% weightage to the group exercise, and 30% weightage to the personal interview. So this will be your summation in your 4th stage, and based on this you will be getting your final admit, final merit list, and based on that you will, they'll tell you whether you're selected or not. So this is the process. Okay, so what is this MICAT exam? I'm not going to go too much in depth in the MICAT exam. We'll have separate sessions for MICAT exam with examples of questions. Right now, this is about MICA as a college. That is the reason I'm not getting too much into the exam idea, but I'm just giving you a brief overview. So what is this MICAT as an exam? So it has 3 sections. It's A is a psychometric test, B is a descriptive test, and C, it has 4 subsections in it. It is basically this, you can call this as the aptitude test. It has your verbal ability, quant and DI, general awareness, and it has something called as divergent and convergent thinking too. Let's not worry about what are each one of these sections, what is psychometry, how do you pass it, what is descriptive. I'm not getting into the details of it. Right now, just understand that there are 3 sections as a part of your MICAT. We will definitely from BYJU'S Exam Prep, we'll be having separate sessions where we will be discussing about this particular exam section wise. So you'll get the inputs on in that particular session. Okay, so usually how many students write? On an average, about 7,000 to 8,000 students write the exam, both the exams if you combine them together. So the number who write MICA is not very high. The reason is quite simple. Students who are very, very focused on marketing, they go for this. People who are not sure would probably not end up writing this exam. So that's the reason why the number of students are actually a bit less. 7,000 to 8,000 people write. I'm not talking about one MICAT or the second MICAT, both the exams together. People who write this or that, if you take the unique students. The pattern is psychometric, 150 questions, 30 minutes. Descriptive test, only 4 questions, 25 minutes. And the aptitude part, a total of 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, that is 80 questions, 80 minutes. So the total is 234 questions and the time is 2 hours, 15 minutes. So this is basically the exam of MICA, right? So what is the entrance process then? I already told you there are the 4 steps, but it's a little bit more than just the 4 steps. So first and this is basically how they check your papers. So first you have to, you submitted your CAT score. Let's say you applied through CAT and you also wrote MICAT. So then what they will do is first they will check your section A. They will say psychometric section, minimum score you need. It is a qualification round, which means they will not, getting very high is of no use, but you have to get the minimum score there. If you get the minimum score, they will say that you are qualifying into the second round. The second step is, if you qualify in the above criteria, that is the psychometric, then only they will check how much marks you got in CAT, ZAT and GMAT. CAT, ZAT or GMAT. So if you get the minimum score in your section A of MICAT, then they will see what score you got in your CAT, ZAT and or GMAT. If you get the minimum requirement, again CAT, ZAT and GMAT, you will have to meet the cutoff. If you meet the cutoff, then only then they will check the descriptive. Remember guys, descriptive is where actually you type the answer. So they will not check it for everybody. They will check it only for those people who qualify the psychometry and who get the minimum cutoff for the CAT and ZAT or GMAT. Let's call them as qualifying exams, right? So if you get the cutoff in the qualifying exams, only those students will be having the section B assessed. If you qualify in the section B, only then section C will be assessed. And then if you qualify in the above, you will be considered for your GE and PI. So basically, it's a step by step. If you get till here and then you fail here, you are out. So you have to pass all of these steps and then you will be getting a GE and PI call. So as I said, the GE and PA final list is based on 50% of MICAT weightage and 50% of your qualifying exam weightage. And 10% of the students are called for GDPI or GEPI. So around 7 to 8,000 people write, somewhere around 700 to 800 people are called for your group interview and personal interview process, a group exercise and personal interview process. So 10%. So if the students are writing the exams in two different slots, that is two different timelines, MICAT 1 and MICAT 2, 10% of the students from MICAT 1, 10% of the students from MICAT 2, total adding up to 700 to 800. That's basically what happens. So let's take a look at the timelines. So MICAT 1 exam, the registrations will be closing in the next month, that is November 19th. 19th of November. The exam is going to be conducted on 3rd of December. And the scorecard will be out by December 21st. So you can see what kind CAT score matter in MICAT. Yes, Tirupati, you need to get a good qualifying exam score, which is a CAT exam score or a ZAT exam score or a GMAT exam score, because your final call for your interview will be depending on both MICAT as well as your CAT, ZAT or GMAT score. Okay, so it is important. So your scorecard will be out by December 21st. If you feel the score is not good enough, you can you can start writing. The registrations are still going to be open for MICAT 2. So if December 21st, if you feel that your score is not good enough, you can start registering for the MICAT 2, because the registrations will be open till January 16th and the exam is going to be conducted on January 28th. That is MICAT 2. And of course, the February will be giving out, or you'll be getting your scorecard. Typically, the interview process will be happening in the month of March and the final merit list will be announced in the month of April, and the batches will start from the month of June. So you'll have an entire May month off to you. June, you will be starting off with your classes. So this typically is the other important dates, right? So guys, that's all I have from my side as far as MICA is concerned. I hope you got some inputs about what the college is all about, what is its specialty, who should go for it. By the way, if you're already preparing for CAT and if you're interested in seeing how good your preparation is, we have an All India Open mock starting from 28th, which is about today, I believe. So it's going to start from today and going up to 6th of November. That is the next Sunday. So it's a free All India mock. This mock will be written by thousands of students across the country. You can write this mock by going to our BYJU'S Exam Prep app. If you don't have it, download it. It's the moment you download it and open it, you will be getting the notification that there is a CAT. If you select the product as CAT, it will be showing that the live the All India Open mock is live. So write this exam. This is one exam which is at par with what we believe is going to happen in CAT. This is the last open mock from our end. So take a shot at it and see how good your preparation is. We will be giving you an All India rank percentile. Most importantly, you will be having recorded solutions for all the questions. And you will also see one of our faculty members taking a live attempt. So you can actually see them attempting the paper with commentary running from their, when they're attempting something, they will be talking about it. So you will see why a faculty member is selecting a question to solve, why are they leaving the question, and they are, faculty members are not God. So they will also make mistakes. So you can also see when a mistake happens, how do they recover? Right? So you will have a ton of learning when you go through these videos of both the solutions as well as the attempts. So you can, kind of prepare for your actual CAT exam based on certain inputs that you can get over here. Also, we have a series called the Last Lap series, which is basically covering all the basic topics of CAT. So these Last Lap series are basically 20 in number, and it will help you reach this coveted 99 percentile. So it's a revision kind of a session where we will be covering everything as far as your CAT preparation is concerned in 20 live classes on YouTube itself. So if you want to attend these sessions, subscribe to our channel or continue to be subscribed onto our channel, and yes, click on the bell notification icon so that whenever we put up a session, you will get that notification and you will not miss any of these. Thank you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you in my next one.